Hey guys, what's up? This is MisterMan 525, and it's been a little while since I showed anything that happened with my rig, so I'm going to go over that today. Now, this will most likely be sold up for sale soon for about $10. I haven't really decided the price yet, and I've kind of given up on my rig pack because that was old and that was not good, and I'm looking at it back, and I might sell the classics rigs, but the original rig in the rig pack at least wasn't very good, so I'm probably gonna end up selling this one and maybe another one, but this one for sure. Hopefully this time at least. Anyway, so I'm gonna go over the basics of this rig and kind of start this. Just start with all the features. It's a pretty good rig if I do say myself. So start at the bottom. We have the feet, and so these have fancy feet. So you'll notice it here. What some people like to do is, oh, I forgot, I have these all unselected. I think this is like 4, maybe 4, 5. There, it's 5. Anyway, so what lots of people do with their fancy feet is they have this pretty much selected, and they also have the front of the foot selected. And I just think that looks a bit weird. And once you are used to animating, you'll notice that you have to rotate the foot anyways. For people who are starting walk cycles and stuff, it doesn't work as well because you have that bubble there and it doesn't look as good. So what I do is if I just find the, I forgot, lost the bone. Okay, there we go. But if I unhide that, go back to here, you'll notice that I have this with no weight paint at all. So this front of the foot's flat. With the back of the foot, I had some weight paint on. So the back of the foot still has that curve there that lots of people like. The back of the foot here, like right here, but the front of the foot doesn't have that weird bubble at the beginning. So that's a good thing that I just find is handy. If I just go back, there we go. Okay, so if I just go back to here, yeah, that's pretty much all with the feet. The IK for the feet, they are IK controlled feet. It's just parented, the pole vector is parented. So if you just unhide them, it's in a different layer. You can move them around, but I don't really find the need to, so you can just unhide those, move them back to the first layer. So it's the same with the other foot. And now we're going to move up to the body. So starting off with the body, we have the 3 body bends. So we have the first main body bone, we have the twerk bone, and then we have the double body bends here. So we have the first and the top. And pretty much what happens is these rotate separately. But if you bring up this little control here, then they both, it applies the rotation of the first bone that you rotate, and applies it to the second bone. So it applies the rotation of this bone to this bone. That means that this bone cannot be rotated, but it can still be moved around. It has a squash and stretch feature. If I just Alt-R. And you'll notice if this is down, then they have independent rotation. This still rotates and this moves as well. The arms are pretty basic, sharp bends. Again, the IK is parented. We have fingers, which are driven by action keys. So we have the up, and we have the extending. Now, lots of people like these are for 3-pixel fingers, and lots of people don't like 3-pixel fingers. On my other rig that I actually use, I have 2-pixel fingers, which is, I guess, the more liked version of fingers. But for this rig that's out for sale, I'm giving 3-pixel fingers. I might change that. This is version 1, but yeah. We also have wrists, and we have thumbs here. 2 controllers, as you might notice. One brings it up, and one brings it out. So those are the hands. Now we have the head. The head rotates. It also moves. And then there's a squash and stretch feature, so the head kind of has its own neck little thing here. It's a bit glitchy. This will happen if you move it too far, but it's good for small little neck movements where you just kind of have them stretched out. So now we have the head. We have our squash and stretch feature for our head. We also have an eye kind of ball feature. You'll notice that they don't. They're both. They don't use the bones really. The bones control them separately. They actually use shape keys to move around. And you'll notice that they have a limit to each of them, right? So they don't you don't have half the eye and half of the head. And even though it's more realistic, I don't know, I just like this version more. You'll notice we also have some eyelid things going on here with our eyelids. They kind of bend around as you're moving it around. So that's pretty much all the eyes. Just put that back. And we have the mouth. It's a nice, clean mouth. I have kind of these little texts for all of them. This is mouth open. So the mouth opens, it gets that wider, like thinner, etc. It's a basic mouth controller. But yeah, I added if I just render it out here, you can see the face looks really nice. Everything is slightly beveled, so at least on the face it is. So it kind of looks nice and smooth. And then you can also use these little, well, they're weight painted, but these weight painted bones, not a lattice space, but I think this works better, honestly. And you can get some pretty nice expressions. Now, what I like to do is have a lot of features in one bone, so if you rotate it, it closes the teeth, and if you, no, nothing happens when you scale it. When you rotate it, it closes the teeth. I also forgot, if you rotate this along the y-axis, it scales the eyes. If you rotate it on the x-axis, it kind of, you'll notice the square itself kind of bulges and thins out. This is a nice little effect here. If I just Alt-R, it gets back to normal. Squash and stretch feature as well, it helps. These are pretty much for character customization, kind of like expresses a lot of emotions. So anyways, you have the eyebrows, pretty basic eyebrows. Again, up and down is up and down, left and right is rotating. Same with this one. You have the movement of the mouth itself. This is not perfect, it's not a Boolean mouth. It's just controlled by like shape keys and well, weight paint, so it can be a bit glitchy, but for the time being it works pretty well. Just saying, these can also rotate, scale, and you can move them in the y-axis for other facial customizations, I guess you would call them. Anyways, next we have the eyelids. So both of them are like this. You move it down to close the top one, you move it up, it closes the other one. You rotate it this way, it closes both of them. And that's pretty much all they do. They're both like that. You rotate them. And then all you can also do is you can have these little bump here. And so you can curve the eyelid. And by doing that, all you have to pretty much do is move this driver up for the bottom and move this one up for the top. So yeah, you can get a lot of customization here. Move it down a bit and then rotate it so it scales them both in. And then move this guy up, I don't know, rotate him a bit. And then you can also move these not the full way, so you can move them like halfway. And then you can also use all the other customizations here with this and rotating. So yeah, it's a very nice rig. A lot of stuff has been inspired by other people, but a lot of this I just made up myself and just kind of worked on for a while. But yeah, this is probably going to be for sale. Might be free. I haven't really thought of too much about that. Just kind of give a render of how it looks. What I find is I had a bit of a glitch with the hands before, and you could see the outlines, but that's gone away now. So it looks like a solid hand. You can see a bit of a line there. You can probably fix that easily. But yeah, you got this nice rig. It will be for about $10 if I can actually get it out, but I'm probably going to. So yeah, stay tuned for that, I guess. And I guess I'll see you next time. Then, yeah, bye.